Can't get enough of Kelly and Ramya?
We're now on YouTube for you to indulge in highlights from our show. Into a special episode of Kelly and Ramya here as we celebrate 1 year of being on TV, January 9th, 2023 to January 9th, 2024. Kels, this time last year, we were hopping on for the first time and keeping our fingers crossed.
So the smart thing would have been to check out the show from last year because
that's so true.
we're not going to remember
Is it even
anything
available on
that
Pod
went on.
now? No, I
don't know. And even if you recorded it, Ignite and them just go, it's gone after a year, bye. So we'd have to go. I might have it somewhere. I think I asked for it as a file to keep.
Yeah, if somebody has it, it's you for sure.
Well, yeah, and I mean, of course, you don't look back and say, oh, no, it's painful. I'm not watching that.
I don't think it would be that painful.
It was. I think we started out pretty good.
Actually.
I mean, after all, it's a 1 year ago as a TV product. We have a few people we'll talk to and they can concur with us or get off the show that it was a great show. Let's think back though. 1 year.
Only one opinion is great.
Exactly. That's the only one. If you don't have that opinion,
get out of here.
Out off the show. Get out of here. Off to the side there. Okay, so let's think about this. 1 hour and about 15 minutes ago, in the control room, the kind of sound that you would have heard was something along the lines of this.
10, 9, 8 to be open, 7, 6, 5 to be open, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up on the open. Music. Thank you. Ready to box.
Live from the Accessible Media
On a
Studios,
flash.
this is Kelly and Ramya. Entertainment, lifestyle, and great conversation. It's AMI's on-air community, and everyone's invited.
Cue. Flash.
Well, I hope you're ready to have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program.
Watch
It's absolutely fantastic. On behalf of Ramya Mugan, I've got to say, beautiful.
So nostalgic.
Yeah.
I never saw this part of it or this side of it. No.
This got tweeted out shortly after the show went there.
You know how I was on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Same
this
way I'm on X.
got posted, X'd out.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
That's not how they refer to it, is it? I know this is a serious tangent. They don't say X'd out for posting, do they?
No, they say post. Now on X,
good.
I was making up X'd out. Yeah. Now you send something.
I like yours, though.
Right? X'd out. It sounded like a lot of fun in there. Anything launching, and don't get me wrong, the control room was darn new, and the gang had been working at things through the day. But I just to hear that feel, and you wonder, and also not being ever able to stand in there really and watch the show get done, get started and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This for me, folks, is kind of that kind of surprise to you because I'm in here. I'm not privy to what goes on in the control room while the show is on.
Well, that's how it is anyway, right? Like you're focused hard on what you're doing, your emotions leading up to it. I was here in studio and like that was different for me because we were doing a lot of work from home or home studio setup in December and testing and all of that stuff. So jumping into it here was different. And then watching it this way or experiencing, you hear Megan, you hear Anastasia counting us down into the show. I'm like, oh, so that's a whole different kind of vibe, understanding what it was like, bigger picture heading into the show.
From the control room, and they're really, really cool. And those guys, everybody have gotten us through so much. And then a week or so later, Irene joined the group.
Exactly.
Well, actually, Irene was there. Irene was there at the time.
Just off the first 2 days, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
that we were on air. Also, every day they get us through a lot of stuff, the control room, because, you see us, you hear us, because we're the talent, but there's so much going on behind the scenes in terms of coordination and troubleshooting. Absolutely. And telling us, keeping us on track with time cues and all these other things. There's like a billion things going on. So anyways, we want to hear from some of our control room staff and the people behind the scenes. So Irene Sullivan, who is our director, and Megan McGraw, who's our visual producer, are going to be up in this next bit of how people are feeling on anniversary day.
Happy 1 year anniversary to the Kelly and Ramya show.
It's Irene Solomon, the director of the show. It's been a blast bringing to you a program that's full of interesting conversation, hopefully what you find fascinating topics, and trying to come up with a way of presenting them in an interesting and unique fashion. I love our morning meetings where we brainstorm about all the things that we're going to do and how we're going to do them, and yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. Great group of people, and we hope to continue to bring you excellent television for the next year. So once again, happy anniversary to us.
Hello, it's Megan here, the visual producer of the Kelly and Ramya show. It's our 1 year TV anniversary. I just wanted to give a shout out to the amazing team for all their hard work and dedication this year. Looking back to our first show a year ago and comparing it to today, it's mind blowing. The progress and development are just off the charts. Sure, we had our fair share of challenges, but honestly, it's been a total blast. I've got so much love for the team. They're absolutely amazing, and we've got so much more exciting stuff lined up for the new year. Can't spill the beans right now, but better stay tuned for what's coming up. Cheers to an incredible year.
The door is off. That's for sure. Thank you, Meg. Wonderful words, Irene. Beautiful to have you on there. And just those feel from people who joined our team to get this off and running for the television component. And that's not to take anything away from our audio days or what we continue to do and the support we get from you folks over listening in and involved with AMI Audio. We also had a little switch. Senior producer Matt Agnew stepped away for a while. He'll be back shortly. And filling his shoes and doing something very different for him, Jeff Ryman now joining us as our senior producer. Jeffy, what's this year been like for you?
Yeah, you know what? It's been a year of growth and progress, I think is sort of the big thing for us. Switching from audio to TV is never easy. It took months and months and months and months and months, almost years, literally worth of planning. But we got there. We launched a year ago. It's always funny to see, and I would love to go back and take a look and listen at our first show on TV and compare it to now. That's always kind of fun to do. But it's been incredible. You know, watching you guys every day on TV, hitting a new audience on AMI TV, and we're still on AMI Audio. You know, it's really been incredible. And like everybody else was alluding to, I think that there's still so much more. There's so much more potential with this show that we can get to in the next year, next 10 years, whatever it may be. There's still tons to get to. So, and like what everybody else said, it's a fun group to be around.
Yeah.
There has been a fair share of ups and downs, especially from a technological standpoint. That can always be tricky on a daily basis. Yeah. But everybody handles it with such a grace and professionalism. I'm telling you, you know, the people in the control room, they put up with a lot on a daily basis, but here we are every single day. We're on air. We look good. We sound good. So couldn't be more proud.
Yeah, and you know, like I remember the elements when we're talking about transition and bringing Matt back into the conversation. He's not here, but you know, his ears must be ringing or whatever they say. So the thing is with transitioning from audio to TV, because we spent years on audio, we loved a lot of the elements that we had on there, right? Like the doorbell IDs, as we call them, which is, you know, the contributor intros that we package out and throw to before we bring in a contributor on the show. Also the theme music and the copy around the theme music. We were talking for months about, like, do we want to bring in a new theme? Do we what do we want the intro to look like when we go on TV? Remember, like, how close we were to switching up things so drastically, right? Like, what do we want to feature visually and audio wise? And then we just ended up saying, kind of like it the way it is, and brought that back in.
Let's focus on getting our audio show on TV, and have that fun with it. And there was, because Ramya, I think you make one of the most amazing points about our team. Our original team is very audio driven, not just because we had an audio talk show. We all went to broadcast schools
we love it
and took courses that involved audio. So for us to make that change, and I kind of love it, like for us to kind of just for a moment think about that alone, changing the theme song. I think for me that's something we've thought about. We're kind of catchy, you like that, but it was driven home when Lucas Hanneman and the band
Yes.
played our theme song on the special that made you stop and say, wow.
Okay, yeah, we do love this.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
How about you,
And
Jeff? Is there, with this TV component going from audio, what scared the heck out of you?
the visual aspect of things, adding that and just the extra things that need to go into a show just from the visual standpoint is extremely hard. Everything you see on the screen is done with a purpose and has to be done pretty much the day of, maybe sometimes the day before, depending on how lucky we are. But having everything tied together and pieced together nicely and in an efficient and timely manner is extremely hard, and it's a lot more time consuming than just turning on a microphone and talking away. And it was funny because Rummy and I were talking yesterday in studio that we would love to do a show in the dark. Remember those on the audio days? You can't really do that anymore on TV, but we definitely had a lot of fun, and I think that's something that we're so proud of, is that we literally just wanted to bring that audio show onto TV and have, obviously some visual effects that are aesthetically pleasing. And I think we've done that very well. So couldn't be more proud. Yeah, and the contributors too, they all rock.
Oh,
I mean,
Contributors
everything
rocked on so many levels.
Day
Like
one.
the last 2 months, I'd say, before coming into January 2023 was hardcore for our contributors because, as you know, a lot of our contributors are members of the disability community, blind or low vision, majority, and having to redo doorbells, having to rejig their performance or just energies for TV. What is their visual setup going to look like at home? What's the equipment like?
Where am I going to look?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
What am I
Do I look
doing?
silly?
And what am I sending to you so you can add to the visual side of the doorbell? And Megan McGraw, like huge shout outs to Megs because she was like all day, every day working with contributors, not just on the setting them up side of things, but to rejig the visual, like adding visual elements to the audio components that we were bringing into the show, and said, we love this exactly the way it is, so can you add just the visuals you need to make this creative in that sense?
Yeah, and you saw that when everybody stepped up at Christmas too. That was new for everybody. How do I do this TV thing?
That's right. And there's going to be so much more, having Kelly, you do a live hit on TV from the London CNIV earlier,
I
true. Guess mid to late last year. That was fun. We're hoping to do more of that stuff. Obviously, the Kelly and Ramya primetime special was very unique. And I know it wasn't live, but that was part of our show. That's who we are. And it was really fun to do that. So throughout the past year, we've definitely had a lot of fun and a lot of growth.
We have. Definitely. Jeff, thanks for making time. Thanks for everything you've done over this past year, especially diving into senior producing, doing something so totally different. Thank the team in the control room. Thank the team behind scenes and the Grant and Beth and everybody who's joined us on this forage into the television part. But mostly, folks, thank you out there who give us your time, whether you're watching on the TV side, listening through a podcast. Just thank you so much. It's so incredible. We are in a very privileged position, Ramya.
Yes, we are, Kels. And every day we come into this space, resetting for a whole other 2-hour show. And we hope that we get a lot out of it and that everybody listening and watching gets a lot out of it too.
Thanks for watching.
You can catch Kelly and Ramya weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on AMI.